Now, today would be the second day of our readings of Benjamin Franklin's A Modest Inquiry into the Nature and Necessity of a Paper Currency, dated for April 3rd, 1729. We had started that yesterday. But there has been a disturbance, and so it might be prudent for us to adjust and understand what was going on concurrent. Benjamin Franklin was in his own mode at the time he wrote that. But what was going on at the same time, as we discussed yesterday? Let us see. Beginning on page 20. Correspondence between Governor William Keith and the Pennsylvania House of Representatives concerning issuance of paper money, April 2nd, May 6th, 1729. April 2nd, 1729. Memorandum. The paper money bill being yesterday again brought up to the governor, and it appearing that the House had conceded to none of the material amendments proposed, except the abatement of the sum from 50 to 40,000 pounds, his honor sent for the House and spoke to them as follows. Mr. Speaker and gentlemen of the House of Representatives, I can scarce express my astonishment upon perusing the bill for emitting more paper currency, as you have now returned it to me, when I observe there is not the least amendment in any of the material points mentioned in my message of Tuesday, the 25th of March, conceded to, except the abatement of the sum from 50 to 40,000 pounds, which is still greater than the most eager for a paper currency that I meet or can converse with, think either proper or reasonable for us. Surely you have not considered that one full half of the powers of legislature is lodged in me, and that I represent both His Majesty and our Governor-in-Chief. Otherwise I might have expected to have heard your reasons for such a conduct. I am very sensible there are some amongst us who, on certain unjustifiable projects, would be better pleased to see the bill rejected than that I should have the pleasure of doing an act so much for the service of the people of Pennsylvania. But as there has always hitherto subsisted a perfect good understanding between the assemblies of this province and me, since my first arrival, I hope your House, gentlemen, will resolve effectually to disappoint all such dishonorable views. I have openly declared myself a friend to our paper currency, and desirous to promote an addition to it such a manner as I can account for to His Majesty and my superiors. We are both agreed on the necessity of the thing, but unhappily differ in the manner of doing it. I am for the cautious and most secure part, for the interest of the whole country. For though I am of opinion that postponing the emission till His Majesty's royal assent can be had to the bill may give great delay, yet I believe another expedient may be found safe and honorable for us both. You, on the other hand, apprehend there is so little danger of a repeal, that you have been even blended our present currency with the sum to be emitted by this bill, by which we evidently hazard both. And indeed, 'tis strange that while we are endeavoring for more money, we should risk the sum we now have, and by grasping at too much, we may probably lose all. For whatever construction people are pleased to put upon the directors of my lords commissioners of trade and plantations, I think myself obliged to pay a due deference to that honorable board, as His Majesty's counsel in what regards the interest and prosperity of his American colonies. There has been already too much of your time spent to little purpose. I am sorry, yet sure that I am not to blame for it. If it is really intended that the necessity we are under should be relieved by a reasonable addition to our paper currency, the means, I think, are not very difficult, in which I shall most cheerfully join, for I have nothing so much at heart as giving ease and satisfaction to the people of this province. But if it should be insisted on that this bill, in the terms 'tis now conceived and none other, must answer the end proposed, it will be evident to all men who will coolly consider it that the people's disappointment will not lie at my door. To which the House on the 3rd of April sent the following address and answer. Well, that's the 3rd of April.